Whew, so I'm back, y'all. I got out there, and it was pretty good. It was a good ride. The tires were good, so that's a good start. The brakes work, but they may need to be cleaned with some brake cleaner or something like that. You see, got out there, and it was a good ride, a good experience. I'm glad I had on some long sleeves though, because a couple of crunchers, as I call them, they did get me. So I mean, it's good. It's good when you have good news. So let's say I wanted to go down the street or something, and maybe go to like a small store and pick up a few things. You want to go to like the liquor store or something, might want to pick up some good wine or something. I can do that. That's like a good start. If I want to travel a little further, I could definitely get there, but it's just a little harder to just seems a little harder, like with the pedaling and going. I never encountered a bike like this, but it's a good one. Um, it works. So see, I'm looking at the positive. I always start with the positive. It's a good one. It does work. Basically, it does break. It does go. So that's a good thing, right? So that means you can get started. So the only thing is, all right, the brakes make a little bit of noise. All right, so that could be clean, some brake cleaner, some fluid, things like that. I gotta find some stuff. And then the speed adjustment. It's got some switches on there, so it's probably a switch to let go with the speed, and then you can keep going. Now, if I check it and it's not a switch, and you can't go any faster, then I can still make my little trips or whatever I have to make. I'll just have to get something that'll power it electrically. It might cost several $100, but that's cool to kind of get it started, get it going to where that you want it to go. And plus I have, you always got a backup, so it's all good. So basically I'm saying that the test was 95% test. If I were to take it out now, I could ride it and go. And I rolled it like up the street, and I didn't have to walk to go there, and I still got there. And I had a hoodie on, and I had an encounter with one of the lantern flies too. One of those demon flies, as I call them. But see, I never liked that name, lantern fly. I'm looking around like, what do they call a lantern? That ain't no daggone. Who knows what the heck that thing is? But it kind of seen me rolling on a bike, and don't you know how like the animals, start chasing you on the bike, different thing like that. So I think that's, it's another type of, it's an insect, but in your mind, like it's another type of animal, because it kind of seen me, and then once it seen me flying, that's what I think it is. It looked like I'm kind of flying because I'm going fast. So it kind of want to attach itself and see what it's going. Then it realized, oh, you're not flying. You're on a bicycle or something. Let me get off of you. And as I was to go to smack it, I hit it a little bit, and it, flew across the way. And I wanted to stomp it, but, that's not, I had to do that. It was already outside. It was minding its business. I came to its territory, and it wanted to explore to see, okay, is he a threat? Whatever. But, it was interesting. But this is another reason why you go out, you got a little gear on. I got my hat on, I got my shades. It could have flew in my eye. It could have tried to fly anyway. Normally I have on my mask, but I was just flying, and it was flying, and I was just gliding down the street, and so it decided to take a sneak peek. And if I sound it's a little frustrated, it's because I'm a little frustrated because I don't really mess with them things. We need to get together and get rid of them, because they definitely don't belong here. But I could be wrong. They could be the ones that belong here, and we could be the intruders. It could be another part of nature. But I don't. I particularly don't favor them. Not to say that I want to get rid of their species, but there's a place where they can go. It's a place they could go and be happy and things like that. That's what I mean. They don't have to be here. They weren't here early on. Now they just kind of popping up. Where the heck they come? Oh, they popping up. Where the heck this come from? This ain't a part of a natural cycle, you see. But once again, I could be wrong again because, what is the natural cycle? Is this another part of nature that's supposed to be here that we don't understand? That's why, I respect it and I say, all right, I'm gonna leave it where it is and not start. I wanted to, it was right by the bike. My foot was right by it, but if I ain't got to do it, I say, no, I'll just leave it alone. Like when I was cutting the grass. Got out there and I cut the grass and they was out there chilling, minding their business. And I come out there, trying to spiffy the lawn and getting close to where they at. But they wasn't out there, looking for me. I went out there and I had to do what I had to do. So it's just one of those things that you gotta deal with. It's another thing in life you gotta deal with. You don't feel like dealing with, but you gotta deal with it anyway, and that's okay. So, as I was talking about, trying and pursuing that success, I'm thankful today because of the success that I had. Not what I didn't accomplish, but because of the success that I had. There was some success. There was some light at the end of the tunnel. There was some, saving grace, should I say. There was some ending that was okay. It wasn't all bad news. I could have got out there and tried to start it and it didn't go nowhere. And I would have got a half a block. And I said, well, I can't do it no more. Because that's, what I thought that might have happened. I said, well, I probably ain't going to get too many places. But I was able to manage. When you can kind of manage, you can kind of do it. I said, okay, that's good. You never know what you might need or how you might need it or further down the line. Or it could be a blessing. I might not need it at all. Lord bless me in some way. I never had to look at it again. But, I got the knowledge. At least I know what I can and can't do. And then somebody come along and say, hey, you know what? And then I can say, yeah, you can do. So, certain things I do understand, certain things I do like. And it's going to get done. So I appreciate y'all. Thank you again, subscriber, for clicking that subscribe button. You don't know how much it means to me because it means I'm on my way to the success that I want to have. That means that things are possible through pursuit and things like that. You take your time. Some things don't fall through. Like right now, it's that, that average time. But it gets better, but the thing is, a lot of people give up early. A lot of people get depressed, and they commit. Well, what, and then they get really down and stuff like that. So they don't want to live life no more. If somebody may be going through some of the things I'm going, they wouldn't understand. They wouldn't want to live because they don't understand what's going on. They're not really try to find out or figure it out. But if the Lord's give me another day to figure some things out, it may not just be for you. At a family member of mine, I say that, you trying to take yourself out of this earth, that's the most, that's selfish, that's lazy, That means you didn't feel like completing the challenge. You didn't feel like going forward. You just wanted to kind of take an easier route out because it got a little too hard. Because it seemed a little too impossible instead of taking the hit, taking the punch. You see? That's the problem. A lot of people don't want to. You take the losses. He said you was going to have losses. If you read the word, he said you're going to have trials, tribulations, things like that, challenges, losses, whatever you want to call it. He said that. Trials, tribulations, losses, whatever you want to call it, he said that. And he also said that you receive by doing what? You ask and you receive. You seek it out. See, seeking involves trying, pursuing, doing some work. You seek and you shall find. You thank God for all you've done. Tell him what you need. You receive his peace that goes beyond your understanding. It'd be so simple if we pick up a Bible. A lot of people don't like to read. Well, just some old text, big words. But what if it was about your eternal life? What if it had a little bit more to do with that? What if it was more than just what we see, and what if it was just something more than just your average things that we do, more than your how you get educated and stuff like that. Not to say stuff isn't important. I'm just saying, what if there was more? What if that one book, what if the one Holy Bible is more than what we think it is? I want to thank you for your support today. I want to say God bless you. I want to say peace and blessings. I want to say that I appreciate your watch time and your efforts, and continue to stick with me through these things. I don't know what's in front of me, right? But I know what I'm pursuing to. And it's always going to be Jesus, no matter where I'm at. It don't matter. It don't matter. It don't matter. It don't matter where I'm at. Oh, this place is better. Oh, I seen some videos online. Oh, well, if you get to here, then there's more land, and this place is more of this. It don't matter to me. Don't even. That's cool. We can all get here. We can all get there, because wherever I'm at, there's only one being. There's only one Almighty. There's only one Elohim, Jehovah Jireh, my provider. There's only one thing I'm looking for. All these years of life. All these years of life I've been living, there's always been one thing that I can count on, and that's the Lord Jesus the Christ. Thank you so much. God bless you. Y'all have a great day. As always, I will see you soon.